I do intros. Welcome back to the Rebellion. I'm your host, Shane Hazel. High on top of the mountain, the Liberty Mountain. Just call everything Liberty in this Liberty sport. This is your place for peace, liberty, and free markets. Of course, I have the one and only Banks Wise with me. Hello, sir.
Hello, Shane.
Good day to you. And I don't even know how to bring you into the show. Making his return to the Rebellion for the second time, the heavyweight of the Hazels, the first Ron Pauler.
That's rude.
I didn't mean it in the weight wise.
I'm kidding.
My brother, from my mother, Brett Hazel. Welcome back, man.
Well, thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for doing a last minute. Hey, we're gonna do a little show before Meredith's little birthday party here. This is our second recording on a Saturday. We've got a line of thunderstorms that's just rolling in here, threatening tornadoes and everything else. So if you hear this later on, then I guess that's a good thing because we're probably gonna lose power and all that other nonsense later on. Golly.
You know what's kind of cool? If we have batteries in that system right there,
This will all still work.
even if the power goes out, we can still record.
Yeah, but our lights will be off. I'll have to
Excitement,
I'll have to
man.
add it in
Tons
After
of
Effects.
Ambiance.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna do a fun show today, man. I think this is gonna be extra hysterical. We didn't have anything lined up. Everything's been foreign policy, Iraq, Iran, our terrible deep state nonsense. Can we cuss in this show? I'll just go through it and listen to it and just beep the shit out of it.
Okay. Works for me.
Or not, whatever. So Banks is looking at me as he drinks this sour beer. Banks recommended this one. We're a little further out of town these days, and trying to find like good beer. It's a little tougher up here sometimes.
Go to Publix.
Yeah, Publix had some pretty good stuff.
It's not called Publix anymore. It's called Liberty Publix.
Liberty Publix. Oh yeah. So yeah, you were there, Brett, before we were there. I ran into your buddy Nick on the way back at the gas station, who said, "Hey, I just ran into your brother Publix." I said, "That's weird because that's where we're headed." And then we get there, and I think we called you after we had left or something.
Yeah.
We had already left.
And you're like, "Hey, man, I got this picture of this car that's out here, and it's got Liberty Curious and the Rebellion sticker on it."
A bunch of stuff.
What?
Yeah, some Appalachia stickers and hiking stickers. I think a fraternity sticker,
Yeah.
which was the big clue.
That was the clue. I think we've narrowed it down to who we think it might be. Zach, if you're listening, great car. What the hell are you doing over here though? And I thought you were over in Dahlonega somewhere.
It's close.
Maybe he's moved.
Is it?
It's not that far.
How far? How long does it take to get there?
30 minutes?
You gotta get right up on that microphone there,
30,
Birdie.
40 minutes.
You can bring it right to your face too.
I'll just lean in.
So this is gonna be a fun
Lean
episode.
in. I think that was Hillary's tagline for
Lean
a while.
in, lean, push back.
or was it lean forward? It was lean forward.
Oh, so yeah.
Still, it made me think of that.
I'm gonna go ahead and put this out there. If you've got children who listen to the show, this is probably going to be one of those shows where maybe there's some more adult humor. And
It's Ricky's fault. It's not our fault.
If the Liberty crowd raises their kids like I raise my kids, like there's daddy words all the time. It's not bad words, it's daddy words. So like, I mean, people speak the way they speak. At least my kids are going to know how to use these words when they grow up. It's not going to be like, if they're.
I think that's the cool part about the Liberty movement. I've made this point before, I think in private, but diversity for diversity's sake isn't worth much. But when it happens organically, it seems to be an indication of a good group of people.
Yeah.
And it might be the most diverse group of people I've ever encountered.
Oh, yeah.
The Ron Paul movement, like people of all walks of life, people who like Christian conservatives who have never uttered a bad word ever. I don't know if I have sound, but
You will now.
cool. And just people who are like, I don't know.
You know what's really cool
rebels
about
and freaks. And
what's really cool about that too is like the people that are kind of in that Liberty crowd that are from all walks of life and have like just vastly different types of lifestyles. It's so much easier to learn and enjoy how they live, like to pick up the really cool things about their lives and incorporate it in your own lifestyle.
Not constricted.
Yeah, absolutely.
and respectful of each other.
Yeah.
Even if you're vastly different.
Yeah. Like I don't really get down with you and the whatever you're doing over there, but I kind of like this little aspect of what you are doing, and I think I'm going to incorporate that in my life. It's kind of neat. Speaking of that, we picked up some new Sweetwater today. You picked up some. You walked in the door with it, and I was actually really excited because when I put this in the cooler today, I was like, "Oh man, this is cool." It's from their strain series. It's called Be Real. It's Insane OG Mexican style craft lager.
Taste test.
Yeah,
Let me
I'm a little nervous now because Brett walks in and he goes, "Oh yeah, you tried this yet?" And I said, "No."
Maybe he's done you a favor. He set the bar really low,
yeah.
so you can enjoy it. The same thing you did with Star Wars and set the bar really, really
No,
high,
I'm
so
telling
now
you.
I'm not going to enjoy it.
Usually Brett and I, in terms of taste, are pretty spot on. Pretty spot on. When Brett called me and told me that the new Star Wars was great, I was like, "Oh man, it's going to be like, don't get too excited, Shane. Maybe Brett's fallen off the damn wagon and lost his mind, bumped his head," which he did over the holidays. Brett helped me move and he dropped a damn headboard on his head. We had to go to the emergency room.
Oh, really?
Yeah, look. I mean, you can barely see it now, but I'm like it.
Oh, yeah, I see.
It hit like the corner of this massive, headboard that I built. Hit Brett right.
Still got a pretty good gouge.
The thud was.
I mean, for the emergency room, did you get like a concussion or something?
Nope.
I would say probably mild, if any, but it was just one of those where
he almost passed out
a couple of times.
Yeah, it was.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, like we weren't in the emergency room. Like it was downstairs when it was all kind of setting in and the adrenaline dump was happening and all that fun stuff. And I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna stop this right here. We're gonna go to the emergency room and get you checked out. And we'll get probably a pretty good idea." So anyway, this OG strain though, Brett says,
"Crack it."
He says, you might want to go ahead and give that back to him after you take your first sip because
you know what's awesome with Publix? They will take it back. They're not allowed to ask questions. If you say you're unhappy, they just find ways to make you happy.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh,
they do.
They're the best.
It smells good.
If you bring like the top of a milk gallon and be like, "I'm unhappy with this milk," they will give you a whole new gallon of milk.
That's the way REI is too, man.
REI is awesome.
Oh,
it's one of the only places you can return shoes. Which means I've actually bought more shoes from them than an average other place.
Huh.
Shane's tasting the beer. He's not too unhappy.
I'm not unhappy with it. That's interesting. You didn't like it, huh? Brett, what was your direct comment? What did you say? After your first sip, you'll feel free to cuss.
I don't even remember what I said.
This is gonna be that show, people.
I don't remember what I said.
Explicit. Yeah, I don't think you say you'd hit your dog in the ass with it or something.
That's a good one.
I like this. I like the can though.
Let me try your tart plum stuff over there.
I don't know that you can.
No, just kidding.
I got some more upstairs.
I mean, I've never had herpes, so
Mexican style craft lager. We turned to a couple of true OGs for this collab.
Yeah.
Cypress Hill's Be Real and his insane OG. Dr. Green Thumb himself helped nail down the recipe for this intense Mexican-style lager. Pick it, crack it, drink it up. Come along. I'll tell you what, man. When the weed and the alcohol come together in the future, yeah, probably
like out west.
Yeah, like I was gonna say where they're living in the future, like
what
out
is that,
west.
15 states
Like
are living in the future already.
God,
Denver, Seattle.
How does that make you feel? Does it make you feel like a caveman?
Actually, I don't know. I've been much more positive lately. It makes me feel optimistic. Like, look, it's possible. It's inevitable. We're gonna get there anyways.
Can you imagine if weed saves America? Like
the green rush.
Yeah, when we were just talking on the way out, we were talking. Banks ran out of gas.
Good job.
Can I tell the story?
Sure.
You already did.
I don't mind.
Can I tell the story that I'm already talking about? So, Banks runs out of gas.
Shane doesn't understand consent exactly.
I try.
Watch out,
For
the
a
leftists are
libertarian.
gonna tweet at you.
So first, let's be fair. Banks came up here. His car, his GTI, takes very little gas to get anywhere. Period. Right, but the hills around here are pretty intense. I'd say probably out of code. That's why they're private roads to begin with. Anyway, who gives a damn?
My car ticked like at 25 miles left. It ticked about at the Publix, and it's at 25 miles, and I had like 6 miles left to go. I was like, yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah,
just a little bit too much trust in the system.
Right, I got it. Come on, baby. Well, I have Banks come up and park on the hill, and you know what happens when you park on a hill? depending on which way you're parked, which way your car is facing, a lot of times that fuel pump is not going to get, it's going to do one or two things to your empty tank. It's going to look like a hero, or it's going to look terrible.
It's usually not.
It went from looking like it had 20 miles left to, not
so we get
definitely not going to make it home.
We get done recording the first show, and Banks is in the middle of the top of the driveway where there's room for 2 spots, and he goes, "Hey man, you want me to move to one side so that somebody can either get past or park next to me or whatever?" And I was like, "For sure," because
I'm glad I did that. By the way, I wouldn't have known. I would have had this problem like later this night.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow. So
it's a bed over there.
Yeah, so like gets in, cranks it up, and all of a sudden there's no more cranking going. Like, it is done. And I was like, oh boy, Banks is having car trouble, and just being positive, like, hey, you out of gas? And he's like, yeah, man, I thought I had 20 miles left or whatever. So that's when we scooted into town.
Did you buy gas?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I've got 8. Whatever.
You got
I've
gas?
got a gallon of gas.
So one brother is more prepared than the other brother. I'm just saying.
I didn't have any high premium.
It's not premium. It's good old 87.
I only put premium.
Oh, listen to this guy. I only put premium in it.
It calls for it.
Oh,
does it run differently if you actually use 87 though?
I've never run 87 in it.
So the only time I've ever experienced that differently is in my bike, and you had the same bike as me. If you didn't put premium in the CBR 600, it ran like absolute
like
crap.
dog shit.
Yeah. It was,
you can say it on the show. This is going to be the
explicit show. It ran terribly bad, and you would backfire like every single time you hit a gear hard.
Yeah, I mean it's a smaller engine, so it's does it have no? There's no turbos on.
No turbos bikes, in your GTI?
On my GTI, yeah. But I mean, there's so many problems with GTIs.
Yeah.
This one's newer, so hopefully they'll have less problems.
Why do you buy them if there's so many problems?
Because I love them.
It's good. I mean, they are fun to drive.
They're small and they hug the road really nicely. And
I'm going back over to UK here, I think in September. Mm-hmm. I hope to get another GTI, like fun little car, even if it's on the wrong side of the road.
I think you actually passed me the other day.
Really?
Going down like 285, I saw a black. I think it was the same make and model, because I've seen your car. Last time we were at Publix, she's like, "Oh yeah, I think I saw Banks in there," but I saw one go flying past me in the.
That's generally how he drives.
That's how I drive too. So.
Yeah, I've just got comfortable passing people on the way back out of here the other day. Like, people are going so slow. And like the speed limit's 55, people are going like 35.
Yeah, there's some
and it
stretches,
took me a while,
man.
And finally I was like, well, I'm going to be around here a lot. I've got to get comfortable. Like
find the areas where you can actually pass.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. I mean, well, there's a few of them. There's some pretty good stretches though. But I'll tell you what, you get behind some disabled vets and shit out here that are like 78 years old.
They don't have to be vets.
Going into the coffin. Yeah, it's
I was behind this guy. He had like these blue lights on top of the roof and so forth. He was just going so slow.
I'm gonna give it to the older veterans. I'm sorry if you listen to this show. I love you, especially if you listen to this show. Like, God, you veterans that got all the Gucci, like the plates. I'm a war veteran. I'm handicapped. You got the Semper Fi stickers on every damn side of your car that there is, and then at the same time you got hats in the dashboard and hats in the rear view. Like, God,
drive fast, take chances.
Get the hell out of the fast lane. What the fuck? You guys get out there and camp, man. And I'm just sitting there like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be that guy that takes on these old crusty barnacle Marines that's out. You should know better, for God's sakes. If there's anybody that I expect to get the hell out of the fast lane and into the slow lane and out of Banks's way as he's screaming around 285, get the hell out of the fast lane.
So here's a hypothesis.
Sure.
Maybe the problem is actually not those people. There's just so many of them that there has to be like a small minority who are like that. So again, it's the government's fault for creating too many veterans.
I love blaming the government for absolutely everything.
I was actually listening to this really cool episode of Thaddeus Russell's Unregistered the other day, and he did this whole expose on. So my idea is maybe it's the people who are drafted to war and didn't actually want to go to war, who are the slowpokes. I don't know.
You mean
maybe. And he was talking about how
we got to use correct language. And somebody pointed this out to me the other day.
Enslaved?
Not the draft. The slave army. Okay?
Sure.
Let's just start calling it that. The slave army. Go ahead.
I don't
sorry.
like being corrected on my liberty words. I mean, I taught you everything you know, Shane.
But it's accurate.
But whatever. But he was talking about how during Vietnam, there were all these different veterans groups, like underground veterans groups, where their whole idea, or I guess they weren't veterans yet, they were active military. Their whole idea was they were just going to slow down the machines, like that speech, slow down the gears, slow down the machine by not doing their job. So they'd be sent out in platoons out there, and they would just be like, okay, well, we're just going camping for a week, and then we'll just make up stories about killing Viet Congs, and we actually won't participate in the war.
Awesome.
Yeah. I thought that was
It's
really cool.
it's kind of brilliant.
I never heard of. I
This
never
is on
heard
Thaddeus
about it.
Russell's?
Yeah, his last episode, the
Undocumented? Is that
unregistered?
unregistered?
The 100th episode, he took questions. It's fun. He took questions from the audience, except he never ended up taking questions.
God.
He mentioned the Iran stuff and just went on a tangent.
I can't wait to tell some stories about like some of the times where we got caught up in a little bit of the oh God, what did I cut my teeth on out there? I keep wanting to say Maker's Mark. Jim Beam, because Jim Beam came in plastic bottles, so you could get Jim Beam overseas. That's where I learned how to drink bourbon. I hated bourbon. I hated brown water. I did not like brown water before I deployed.
Yeah, I don't like brown water still.
I found a special place in my heart for brown water because, hanging out with your buddies, sitting in bunkers, drinking probably when you shouldn't be drinking.
So the government once again has lowered standards so low that then people start liking brown water.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm just saying, brown water is not civilized.
Delicious. No, it's not civilized. It's what rebellion is built on. But, I digress. Those stories where like you didn't think shit was coming, like most of the time, because I was our platoon intel non-commissioned officer, so I'd go up and I'd attend the daily briefings and build like targeting portfolios and all that kind of fun stuff. And so I kind of knew way before the rest of the platoon knew what the hell was coming down the pipe in terms of where we were going and what we were doing in terms of direct action, which is like when you go out and you are actively taking down high value targets with that's what they used to call them, HVTs. So I was like, man, we got shit going on tonight. We got shit to do. It's Friday, right?
You have weekends in the military too, like while you're deployed.
Why not?
No, I just never thought of it, and now I'm like, hey, while you're deployed, why would the weekend still apply? The war takes a break on Saturday and Sunday.
24/7 kind of thing.
Do you know what's really interesting?
What
is war does kind of take a break, which is funny because it's even got seasons. And this is not the show that we had planned at all, because we didn't. So at any rate,
kind of planned a show. Don't be all cool, Shane.
Kind of, sort of. But yeah, I mean, whether it was the Arab weekend, which is not the American weekend.
What's the Arab weekend?
Oh God, it's a day off, and
Sunday.
Yeah, I think it's Sunday, Monday, or Friday, Saturday. You can Google it real quick. Either way, but it didn't coincide.
So their Sabbath is Monday then?
I don't even think they call it the Sabbath.
Well, what would be their Sabbath?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, the fact that those guys get down and pray 5 times a day anyway, right? Like,
yeah,
it's pretty intense.
What's funny is when you talk about the different religions and stuff, you realize that it's like almost the same thing, just a little bit different. It's like, oh, they have a weekend too, they have a Sabbath too. It's almost like it has the same idea behind it.
We've all got the same fairy tales. It's amazing. But yeah, it was funny. We also had this terp that would always like during Ramadan when I talk about seasons.
Terp.
Right?
I don't think a lot of people know what that means.
Interpreter. Yeah, interpreter. He'd be like during Ramadan, man, shit got crazy. Especially during Ramadan because guys they're fasting, right? They're pissed off. It's 150 billion degrees outside. They're sweating. They're not eating. Like that's when tensions really kind of ramp up, right? And we were going into some meeting. I think who was the guy at the time, the Wani or whatever the hell his name was, kind of like the first interim PM of Iraq. He's like, hey, we got to go do this kind of stuff. There's going to be a break. They got to go over there and do some headbanging, whatever. And this guy's a Muslim. He was hysterical, man. And at any rate, like we all had a good laugh at it. I don't know where the story is going at all, but yeah, there's
humor.
Yeah, there's
Sabbath.
There's definitely.
We can do a tie into humor into Ricky if we wanted.
Yeah, that's what this show is going to be. We're going to talk a little bit about Ricky Gervais. Finally said it the right way. Gervais. I was saying all this kind of stuff.
He's British, man.
He's British. He's got an accent. But I think. Have you seen? Brett, have you seen this?
I did see it. Yeah.
Epic monologue.
awesome.
So I said I've
awesome.
seen it, but I have not seen an 8-minute version. I saw like a 3-minute version, I think. So
Jesus
there's stuff in there
Christ,
I don't know.
it
about.
is
hilarious.
Like this one this will stand out. I haven't seen somebody in that crowd do this.
He does it all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what his
Ricky-
comedy is based on.
Yeah. Ricky's awesome.
You got to point me to more of this because I would love to see more of this all the time. I would love to see more people in this realm.
Google
Right?
his tweets. His tweets are great.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His tweets are fantastic.
If you don't like my tweets, it's hate speech or something.
Well, he's got like this awesome mix of serious tweets and mostly joking tweets, but every so often he just slips in a serious one there, and he's just spot on. And he doesn't really have a side, but he's got one. He says, if you don't believe in free speech for people who you disagree with and even hate for what they stand for, then you don't believe in free speech.
Sounds
like that's not that funny.
It actually sounds
But
just
it's-
way more
makes sense.
serious.
But it's very serious and is like a great point. Maybe one of the most important points when you're talking about free speech. It's like it's worth nothing when you agree,
Right.
Sure.
because then there's no need for it.
It's-
Because you all agree in the first place.
kinda
You want
gets-
each other to speak.
Get that back to that point where like the only speech that needs defending is unpopular speech. If everybody just agrees, who fucking cares, right? Like,
Yeah, it's like you get no credit for agreeing with free speech when nobody cares what you say
That's
or
what
likes what you say.
Uncomfortable.
that's
stuff
what I
that
can't
matters.
stand about the MAGA.
F, no credit.
The MAGA crowd. You know, I was making this observation before because I was kind of scrolling through Twitter and the backlash that Ricky got from all this shit, and like I don't know, there's some blonde with a MAGA hat on and giant boobs. MAGA. She's got 190,000 followers. Her tweets are very uninteresting. It's just Trump. I love Trump. Tune into YouTube for that one. That's what I'm talking about. It's like if you just regurgitate what's popular all the time, you could be a damn superstar. You can be an absolute superstar.
Well,
and if you're
but I'll tell you
for
this,
certain groups.
and if you look good, you got that much more chance of succeeding.
But you've got a plateau that
I agree.
rises pretty fast. If you're part of and I actually was thinking of this driving up here. It's funny that you mentioned it. If you're part of the minority, though, you've got even more of a space because you've got all these people who just follow like the regular thing to do, right? You start saying Obama's awesome or Trump's awesome or whatever. But if you're in the minority, you have that whole field to play with, and you can stand out more. And if the whole point is to become popular, right? And popularity gives you, I don't know, meaning to your life or money or whatever, then that would essentially like give you more meaning or money or whatever it is. And it's the same point that I was thinking of driving up here is you've got a bunch of people. I was thinking specifically of Christian conservative people who are like warmongering. I was on Facebook while I was driving.
Weird, isn't it?
And
It's the
and I was
weirdest.
thinking, if you want to promote that, if you actually believe in the principles, a lot of the times being in the minority makes you stand out more. It makes your principles look cooler and more different. And if you're trying to contrast against what you say a society is like, I don't know, going to hell or something, then it seems like you would want that. Like the Christians in China who have to fight to be able to like get these shipments of Bibles in and so forth. Apparently it's growing like crazy. And if you might say like America's a Christian nation, it's like dwindling down. The number of people who call them Christian is still pretty big, but they don't really go to church and don't really act Christian. Again, war propaganda.
Yeah.
As evidence.
The
It's like
Sarah
if you
Huckabee
really
as he's burning in hell. It's like, I mean, come on. You're sitting here like talking about the dogmatic right, like where
it wasn't as bad as when they killed Osama bin Laden. I don't mean to interrupt,
Oh, no,
but I
I'm
don't want
gonna-
to forget.
I was on-
They had parades on TV. What's his name? Who's now Glenn Beck, who I actually liked to some degree.
Once upon a time.
I've read a bunch of his books.
he was at least
But
different.
he had a parade like with trumpets and what do you bang together?
Cymbals.
The cymbals on TV, like celebrating Osama being dead. It's like that doesn't seem very Christian.
That's messed
guys.
up.
Yeah, you guys are gonna be real good at the taboo game we play later, where we bang these things together. Yeah, symbols. Oh, all right. Should we just dive into Ricky's monologue a little bit?
Sure.
This is gonna be so much fun, man. God, I love doing shows like this. This is amazing. I got you two here.
Come one, come all.
I'm not prepared.
We're not sponsoring anything, Shane. No ads.
Come
Stop it.
one, come all to the rebellion. I kind of like that lead in. That's a It's a fun little lead.
I have a good song for you
Kind
guys
of a
later.
circus. So I'm going to mute it and just get through the ad. Sorry, guys. Well, what's the song?
It's by Ozo Motley.
I have never heard of that person
It's a group,
or group.
but it's Coming War, and it's just awesome. I went back through all my old music the other day, just kind of pulling stuff up and breaking stuff out, and I was like, yeah, I haven't listened to that in a while.
I got some songs for you that I think you're going to love. We'll talk about them later. But without further ado, Ricky, we're going to interrupt this a lot just to have some fun.
Annual Golden Globe Awards, live from the Beverly Hilton Hotel here in Los Angeles. I'm Ricky Gervais. Thank you. You'll be pleased to know this is the last time I'm hosting these awards, so
It's got a beer
I
on
don't
the podium.
care anymore. I'm joking. I never did. NBC clearly don't care either. 5th time. So, I mean, Kevin Hart was fired from the Oscars because of some offensive tweets. Hello. Lucky for me, the Hollywood Foreign Press can barely speak English, and they've no idea what Twitter is. So I got offered this gig by fax.
So it's already panning around the room, and you just start to see the faces of the crowd getting real small.
Nervous.
Like, it's just nervous, like, oh, shit. Don't call on me. This is his last hurrah here.
It's not going to be his last. There's no way that's going to be.
Well,
Banks was telling me already.
They already actually, because they didn't appreciate. I don't think they appreciate. They already came out and made a press statement that next year it's going to be Amy,
Maybe
Loeffler and Tina Fey or something.
maybe next year, but how many times have they ever got the kind of play in?
Yeah, it's gonna be Polar, and it's gonna be Tina Fey next year.
Yeah. Oh, did I say Amy Loeffler?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
meant Amy Poehler.
Yeah,
Loeffler's a U.S. senator now.
This got more traction. If they don't get Ricky to come back, I'll tell you right now.
But hold on. But there's tons of examples where Hollywood has decided to silence a voice, even though it was popular. What's that show with?
They're
going to
try to destroy him.
Yeah. The show with Roseanne. Like, it was the most popular thing on TV,
Yeah.
and yet so there's obviously this their principles or ideas that override even money and fame.
I thought we would get into the reaction afterwards, because there's a lot of reaction from this, which is even, I wouldn't say as spectacular, but it's definitely spectacular. And the people on Twitter that commented on Ricky's tweets after this, in terms of like kind of just hanging out, sticking up for himself, solid gold.
I think what might make them even more like uncomfortable is he's a comedian, so you never know where the comedian, like, where it's going. So just in this unknown area, and like, you know, from a scary movie, the overt like scary things are not necessarily the most scary. It's like this unknown suspense, or like, ooh, that's a joke. I see where the truth in that joke comes from. Well, where's it really going to go?
And think about how comedians operate most of the time, right? Comedians don't know who's in the audience for the overwhelming majority of the acts that are out there.
Mm-hmm.
OJ.
That was good. It's Chappelle.
Oh, yeah.
He kind of leads you through with
True.
Yeah, it was brilliant. But at any rate, Gervais, he knows the entire damn audience, and there is blood in the water, and he is coming in as a great white, and it is spectacular. And that's the thing is, like, I don't know if you guys have ever swam around great whites or had the threat of great whites in an ocean before. I have. I was scared to death.
Like, you saw them?
Didn't see them. It was nighttime. I was doing amphibious operations out off of Camp Pendleton for about 3 weeks in a row. Scariest shit you can
Do that every week.
Yeah,
It's not that big a
you
deal.
can even imagine. Basically, you get in about 2 kilometers. When I say you get into the ocean after riding the stupid little Zodiac through the fucking god ocean, and you hit a kelp bed, and it goes, and you stop, and then you got to pull up the motor, and you clean it out, and the oars come out, and everybody is paddling, and that guy back there, he's taking the seaweed out of the damn engine, and when you clear the kelp bed, it's
Why didn't you guys have like one of those Sea-Doo kind of type things? They've got Sea-Doo Zodiacs now that just do the propulsion instead of the fins.
That'd be awesome if we had that kind of money. That's SEAL shit. We're not those guys, man. We're the broke fucking Marines.
The curls are center blocks and coffee
they get
cans.
stuck in.
Shane, you have to keep like a high level about the U.S. military, or the terrorists are going to come and kill us.
Guys, we come in from 30 miles away over the coast. It's called an OTH, the over the horizon insertion, right? And then we get to 2 kilometers and we get out of the boats and we swim into the shore.
Shane, you're giving up all the intel.
Oh.
here.
Seems brilliant.
Here's the deal: is November of 2003? Yeah, 2003. We got 2 17-foot great whites that have been spotted and recorded. There was pictures on them, from the Cobra pilots that are flying in and out of Camp Pendleton out to the LHAs. Basically, it almost looks like an aircraft carrier. And they've got pictures of these bastards who just ate a woman up at Seal Beach. And they're like, training's closed, except for you guys. And we're like, what? We're still going to go out there and swim all damn night? And there's bioluminescence in the water, so you get in. It's blue and all this shit.
How many recon Marines have you lost to great whites in the past?
Probably 0 that I know of. And unless they were on...
Yeah, the government probably wouldn't tell you guys.
Unless it was on the Utah. No, you know what they do? They show you Jaws before you go out. That's fun. So anyway, I can't tell you how terrifying it is. You get into the water and you're going to swim 2 kilometers in, and then later in the early wee hours, you're going to swim 2 kilometers out under the cover of darkness and get back in that stupid boat while you're freezing your ass off, and you're just like, I'm going to die in a blue flash of bullshit, right? That's how these guys in this crowd feel right now.
So
that's got to be so great to have that kind of control and be the great white that Ricky is up there at the podium. It's got to be amazing.
So weird question. Most people have like thoughts of like, I'm going to die in some situation, right? I've had one in a car once and so forth. You've had one before that happened. How did it change your life to have that that experience of thinking you're going to be eaten by a great white shark? Does it make you less
it was
less scared of death, more scared of death?
Probably less, right? Because you get through it and you survive, and you're like, yeah, we could probably pull that bullshit off again.
I feel like you're asking me. I don't know.
No, I don't either. I mean, I was there. I still don't know. Like, would I want to do it again? Nah. No, not really. But if I had the same guys and I could go and have that kind of training experience again, I'd probably do it.
So do you have an opinion of people who voluntarily want to go swim with great white sharks?
Nick Diaz.
Oh, man, I'll tell you what. Like, you guys, you're amazing. Like, I don't know. Like, there's something going on differently in their brain, right? And to prove my point, I'll tell you right now. Like, I adopted this like swim vest. And I zip tied a big ass K-bar, which is a knife, right here. And I'm the point man, so I'm leading the way into shore. And I can fin like a bastard. I've got some big meaty thighs that just won't quit in the water. So everybody's like, slow down. I'm like, speed the fuck up. Let's go. There's great whites out here. And then, so anyway, I get this K-bar and I adopted it after about, I don't know, week 1 of swimming with great whites out there. And they're like, dude, what's the K-bar for? You gonna cut the great white? And I was like, dude, if I see a great white, I'm stabbing you and I'm swimming away. It's like the whole thing with a bear, right?
There's actually a few stories of people like defeating a shark by like stabbing them in the eye or something.
Fastest camper.
Yeah, that's right. Like, you don't have to be faster.
Or you can be like a pussy and have no honor and do that. Sure, fine.
You don't have to be faster than the bear. You just have to be faster than the slowest camper.
Or at least not second.
That guy that's bleeding out over there is going to be a prime target. I'm going that way.
I thought you guys were so cool.
Boy. But this is the kind of bullshit. I like to be able to tie this in to really understand, like, these guys are about to be seriously exposed to a shark. And it is epic. The nervousness, the jittery laughs, the nerves that are going on in this room, the panning around the pictures, like it's epic. I'm gonna play some more.
Let's go out with a bang. Let's have a laugh at your expense, shall we? Remember, they're just jokes. We're all gonna die soon, and there's no sequel. So, yeah, remember that. But you all look lovely, all dolled up. You came here in your limos. I came here in a limo tonight, and the license plate was made by Felicity Huffman. So, no, shush.
That's a good joke.
Wait, explain it. Because there are some people in pop culture, like myself, I don't know who that is.
Really? So remember the scandal about the celebrities paying for their kids to go to college and get a position on like some
Sure.
sports team?
Yeah.
She's the
Is that the
mother
mom from Full House?
No, she's the mom. You remember that show with the Desperate Housewives? It's called Desperate Housewives.
I never watched it.
I don't
Looked
know
like
what
your
else.
neighborhood with the picket fences and everything.
Yeah. My old neighborhood.
True.
Place.
But she was the mom in one of those shows, and Hoffman. She's probably related to the other Hoffman, Dustin Hoffman. I don't know, but she paid like $500,000 for her daughter to be on the
like
the row team. So
Aunt Becky. Aunt Becky was a girl from Full House. They were like buddies.
I've
in
never
this whole
seen Full House, dude.
Yeah, like they paid.
What's Full House, dude?
Dude, back in the 80s, there was this thing.
I'm serious. I don't know.
In America where
Really shitty TV show.
Bob Saget, some comic, and John Stamos were like
John Stamos. I know who that is.
Yeah. They had a house. They all lived together. Joey.
Oh, is it the one with the twins in it?
Yes. Yeah.
You know what it is.
Cool. I know it is.
Kind
now.
of.
I've never seen it.
Yeah. So she got implicated. She was implicated, and I think
Yeah,
probably found guilty
and
as
so
well.
she went to jail.
So that's what it is.
And I actually don't think she should have been to jail. I don't think there should be any public schools. And so whatever people
Free
do
market.
with private entities and pay more money, then that's it. I think it makes the school look not very appealing, but
Yeah.
whatever.
So right now,
Kid's probably stupid.
yeah.
But that's a good joke.
Oh, it
Because if you remember, the media just wanted to forget about that. They're like, nothing happened.
I kind of got
Don't pay attention.
I kind of understood that it was a good joke. I didn't understand who the person was. Like, oh, cool, they locked up somebody famous, and now they're making license plates. Like, that's cool, right? Like, but now it's even cooler. But
Yes.
as they're panning around right now, Tom Hanks' face. Oh man, there is a lot of Tom Hanks in this, man, and his facial expressions, like, oh, come on, like that's uncouth, kind of like.
That's our girl.
Oh,
Look why you do that to our girl.
boy.
There's going to be so many future memes made with the faces that are screenshotted from this video.
Yeah, I love it.
It's her daughter I feel sorry for, okay? That
too.
must be the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to her. And her dad was in Wild Hogs. So,
Who's your dad?
Oh, her
Lots of
dad
the-
is that guy who also plays in the show Shameless. I don't know his name.
How the hell
But he's
do
a
you-
really cool actor.
Like your lack of pop
Compartmentalized.
about pop culture and the fact that you know these fucking people, it cracks me up, man.
It's just very random.
All right.
The only thing I pay consistently attention to is Liberty.
All right.
celebrities here tonight, I mean legends, icons, yeah? Look, at this table alone, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, but
It's weird. Can you pause?
baby
Like, he says names and they're all excited to hear these names. Did not realize that these people are going to be made fun of in about 2 seconds.
Oh no, this table right now.
They're not very smart.
Those little
Pucker.
That pucker factor is through the roof right now. They're all like, "Oh shit!" And is it Scorsese who directed that?
With the big glasses? Yeah.
Yeah, man. You just see him doing this. He's not a big guy to begin with, but he's getting small.
Duck and cover.
Yeah, and the guy he's about to make fun of here, he's about to say Baby Yoda, and he's going to go after Joe Pesci. I don't see Joe Pesci at all. Like, I don't. Where is he?
Oda. Oh, that's Joe Pesci. Sorry. I love you, man. Don't have me whacked. But tonight isn't just about the people in front of the camera. In this room are some of the most important TV and film executives in the world. People from every background, but they all have one thing in common. They're all terrified of Ronan Farrow. He's coming for you. He's coming for you.
I don't know.
Look,
Me neither.
talking of all you perverts, it was a big year. It was a big year for paedophile movies. Surviving R. Kelly, Leaving
Yeah, he
Neverland.
just called them all.
It was a
He just
big
called them all
year
perverts.
for pedophile movies. In English, the American English. Pedophile movies, right? Surviving R. Kelly. Did anybody see that?
I didn't.
Yeah, who watches that kind of shit? Those people, right?
Well,
those self-congratulatory bastards. Those are the only people that watch this kind of bullshit.
So Ronan Farrow is a journalist, so he must have been one of the ones who did some articles about this
Outing
stuff.
somebody.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
But he openly calls them.
pedophiles. Yeah, hey, you perverts.
Oh, so Ronan Farrow's the one who outed Harvey Weinstein Weinstein.
Oh, and he just got charged the other day.
With more stuff,
Yeah. Again, that guy.
Have you seen,
dude,
every time there's a picture
looks-
of him, he's got these two like
People holding him up?
mafia-looking guys trying to hold him up because
Dude.
it looks like he's about to fall down.
This shit is not this whole billionaire pedophile bullshit. Have you guys seen? And I didn't realize till the other day who all this implicates. I mean, obviously we've got the obvious the Clintons, the Trumps. Do you know in Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous in the intro? Guess who's in it? Trump and Michael Jackson. Those motherfuckers used to pal around like it was cool. Is that weird?
Hey, turns out Alex Jones is right.
I mean, seriously, what the fuck? I had never seen anything like that, man. And then I was like, oh shit. And then you've got Oprah Winfrey, Harvey Weinstein, or Weinstein, or whatever the hell.
Thanks, Weinstein.
Yeah, and then Jeff Epstein is either dead or he's had plastic surgery and is off living his best life somewhere.
Probably got a new island.
Yeah, but like to see it plainly and go, oh holy shit, this isn't like just kind of a thing. Like you got the president of the United States right now who used to be good buddies with the guy that ran Neverland Ranch. That is. I'm not saying
We've lost all our Michael Jackson fans now.
I'm not saying.
You know
He
what's
used to make good music. I mean, it was fun.
I really don't care about the music that much. I see him a little differently, though. I see him as not like a kingpin. I see him as like a messed up dude who did probably very bad things.
I agree with you.
But at least like he wasn't somebody who was
Horrific childhood.
Yeah.
And I think other like really rich people took advantage of that.
yeah I
Probably,
would think.
yeah.
They're like, oh man, we got this guy that can moonwalk.
I mean, his dad started to take advantage of him, and then the other people just probably took the reins. So
Yeah, he's got moonwalk. He's got a circus at his house. He's got a Ferris wheel and all this other bullshit.
Cotton candy machine.
Yeah,
Movie theater.
I mean, seriously, think about it. It's genius in terms of being evil as shit. Like, I mean, did you guys ever watch the Michael Jackson thing?
we talked
No.
about it on the show.
We talked about it.
You haven't seen it, Brett?
I've never seen it either.
I don't want to see it. From what I've heard, I don't want to see it.
It is
Horrific.
Now I need to.
horribly horrific, and just like at the end, you feel like humanity is
Could take a shower.
Is gonna burn, man.
Well, we're being summoned. It said, hey, you guys almost done. Parents are here. Coming up. It's
Do we need to
Meredith's
take a
birthday.
break?
We're gonna need to take a break. We're gonna have to continue this. I'm not gonna leave this alone, but this is gonna be like after a few more beers. This is gonna be, I think, one of our best explicit episodes.
Best of
Thanks.
the genre. Lots of beeps.
Oh my god.
Lots of bleeps.
Jeez, I don't. Boy, all right. Hey, tune into YouTube if you want to see the unedited version, which might be the only version because there's too many fucking beeps.
Whose fault is that?
Well, you've cussed a few times, right?
Like 3.
Well, yeah, 3.
I've kept it pretty clean.
Yeah, I mean, you're a guest.
But
Shane just been repressed for so
I
long.
probably cuss more than everybody
Shane's been
here,
repressed
so.
for 54 episodes.
I've got 154 fucking episodes under my belt. I can't wait to finish this fucker up, man. This is going to be so much fun. It's going to blow every chance for Senate, but it'll be fun. Anyway, we'll be back. We're back, by the way, here on The Rebellion, your place for peace, liberty, and free markets. We had pretty good dinner.
It was awesome.
What?
fantastic.
Come on.
Is awesome not good enough for you?
I don't think so.
It was one of the best meals ever.
I cooked for 2 days.
The-
Yesterday, we had some butts, we had some ribs, we had a little bit of Meredith's birthday. Happy birthday, sweetheart! You beautiful young lady over there. You're gorgeous. I love you. Great mom. You guys can probably tell we've had some libations. We're going to get back into Ricky Gervais here in his opening.
Gervais.
Yeah, I know. I've had some.
Gervais.
It's it's ethnic.
No, he's British.
It's international.
So are you. You're so ethnic.
You're as white as him.
But we're going to get back into it. We have an audience. This is kind of our first audience.
It is our first audience.
Live, too. This is a live audience, pre-recorded for
I'll
a
show
live
people our
audience.
audience.
Yeah, get that audience out there. Jib, Justin, Kim, Mare.
Brody.
We're gonna leave the little. Well, okay. We're gonna Brody and my baby Sawyer. Oh, I love you so much, all of you. By the way, This is kind of cool.
For her most.
This is kind of cool, man. To have a studio up and running with an audience, and then to have your family, like your real family, sitting here around shooting the shit. Excuse my language, but yeah, maybe I'm a bad parent. I cuss in front of my kids. That's just kind of the way it is. Not all the time. Not unnecessarily. But it's the real world, right? So we're going to get back into it. You guys aren't going to be able to hear this kind of stuff. We're going to play this stuff on YouTube here. Have you guys heard the Ricky Gervais stuff? It is hysterical.
They're nodding in affirmation.
Yeah, affirmation. Thank you for everybody out there in radio and TV land where you can't see.
Radioland. What? How old are you, dude?
I'm ancient, man. Especially after a couple beers. My age starts to show. Here we go.
2 popes. Shut up. Shut up. I don't care. I don't care. Many talented people of colour were snubbed in major categories. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that. The Hollywood foreign press are all very, very racist. So...
What do you guys think about that statement? The Hollywood foreign press are really, really racist. What do you? I mean,
I don't think many people laugh at things that don't have a little bit of truth. So,
I mean, you may know better than anybody. Like, I don't pay attention to the Hollywood press here in America. I definitely don't pay attention to
Who is the Hollywood press?
I don't know.
Okay.
You?
I don't know who the Hollywood press is.
So you obviously don't know internationally who the Hollywood press might be.
I don't know who he's even referencing to the Hollywood foreign press. I think it's like an organization that we don't know about.
Well, the Hollywood foreign
cool.
press is anybody who is not an American citizen who reports about Hollywood overseas.
Then I know them even less.
Right? Like how lackluster.
But again, he's doing this performance for a specific audience that he's tailored this to.
Who's that group of journalists, quote unquote, that you see? Is it TMZ?
Yeah.
Think TMZ internationally. I think that's who he's talking about.
Maybe.
Anything from the peanut gallery on that one? Nothing. The Hollywood foreign press, Jibia? Have you? Are they racist? Sometimes.
The answer is sometimes, people.
Tom Hanks. Keith Urban sitting behind Tom Hanks, and I recognize this one lady's face. Do you recognize her? Nope. I recognize her face, but I'll tell you, for the life of me, I could not.
Super Nanny?
Oh, no idea whatsoever.
Who is that?
Pierce Brosnan's wife.
That's Pierce Brosnan's wife?
Yes.
She's a bit heavy for Pierce Brosnan, isn't she? That's James Bond.
Yes.
What's that?
Steroids.
Steroids? Her?
No, but like she was sick for a while.
Oh, okay.
So,
Jimmy, you sure you don't want to get on this? This is hysterical. Tom Hanks' face. Oh boy, he just looks so uncomfortable in all of this. I'm gonna keep going.
5th time. So we were going to do an in memoriam this year, but when I saw the list of people that had died, it wasn't diverse enough. It just no.
None of my watch.
It was mostly white people, and I thought, nah, not on my watch. So, maybe next year. Let's see what happens. No one cares about movies anymore. No one goes to cinema. No one really watches network TV. Everyone's watching Netflix. This show should just be me coming out going, well done, Netflix, you win everything. Good night. But no.
What do you think about that statement?
he's right.
I think it's kind of funny. I mean, he also has like a bunch of shows on Netflix.
Yeah.
So that's
He does. I mean,
self-promotion.
So Ricky was the creator of The Office.
The original UK Office, yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously it spun off into the American Office.
He was probably involved in that, but he's not. He had a show on Netflix. He has a special on Netflix. Now he's got another show called
Afterlife, which he'll mention here in a little bit. But I don't think he's wrong, right? Like the way I used to talk to guys when I came back from deployments and things, where I would get a whole season on DVD or something, right? I'd get a whole season. I could binge watch the hell out of it. And I was like, I don't need to watch. I think it was 24 was one of the series that I used to watch. 24, I can watch 24 in about 24 hours, right? You guys take 6 months. That's bullshit. And you guys watch the commercials and with it and everything. And you just kind of saw, like, this is a more efficient way to watch your favorite shows. I mean, Netflix is absolutely killing it. I think they're killing it for a reason, because they're actually talking about things that people want to hear about. They're doing, unapproachable. Well, what the people who are involved in the Golden Globes won't do, right? They're not going to take chances. They're not going to be edgy. You look at the comedy on Netflix versus mainstream television. It's not even close.
No.
Well, that's only because they're still trying to compete against like the big guys. As soon as they become like the big guys, there's but
Who's they?
they is still like cable TV and cable programming and the TV shows that the most people watch, even though that sounds weird, like in the Modern Families and stuff like that come out on TV first. As soon as Netflix is the biggest part,
Yeah.
Somebody else to do it.
well, most of the streaming platforms will become just as lame as we see today. Just
Which one do you think it'll be? Hulu?
who will become lame first?
Yeah, who's gonna be the lame streaming service? Because it seems like the streaming.
Apple.
Oh, they're already lame.
See my point exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Fair point.
No, we got to drag it out for 3 hours. You could binge watch the entire first season of Afterlife instead of watching this show. That's a show about a man who wants to kill himself because his wife dies of cancer, and it's still more fun than this. Okay? Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself. Just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up. I know he's your friend, but I don't care.
Wow. Mainstream guy comes out and says Jeffrey Epstein doesn't kill himself. Gets tremendous, like a gas. Oh, man. And he says, shut up. I don't care.
I know he's your friend.
Yeah, right. That's a big deal, man. No comments? No.
I mean, I think the best part is that people aren't 100% sure how much he's joking, and that just makes everybody just a little bit more uncomfortable than they would be.
This is part of a great meme. Is it Adam Driver, Jib? Yeah. Adam Driver that plays Kylo Ren.
Yes.
I love having you here for this kind of stuff. This is amazing. Thank you so much. Jib is the godmother of my children. And she is everything pop culture. I mean, she knows it before I know it. Usually she's texting me to see if I've seen the latest Marvel movie or Star Wars or something like that. And most of the time I have to be lame and say no. But Adam Driver is sitting here while everybody else, this is a great meme. Well, everybody else is going,
smirk on his face.
oh no. Adam Driver's sitting there going, hell yeah. It's great. Adam Driver's a Marine. You guys know that?
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah. He unfortunately apparently had a pretty bad motorcycle accident, like a dirt bike accident, before the first deployment in 2003. He was on Pendleton as well. Collapses like sternum or some shit.
Good move.
Yeah. Right. Like, if you're looking for an out, that's a pretty good out.
Oh, my back.
But he's sitting there just laughing his ass off. Meanwhile, in the background, man, there are some tense faces. Most of all, Tom Hanks.
I love Tom Hanks, by the way.
You know what?
Favorite actor of all time.
He's a great actor.
Isn't he the guy who's been like
He's Forrest Gump.
said that nobody dislikes him?
Yeah, there was a great skit for Saturday Night Live. Did you see this one, Jib? Where The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, came out with Tom Hanks, and they talked about running for president and vice president or co-presidencies, and you were sitting there going, oh, holy hell, this could actually happen. Like, this could really, no kidding, actually happen, where these two could run. You could actually have an actor and an actor who used to be a WWE star win over the population. There'd be no contest. If Tom Hanks and The Rock ran together.
So why aren't they doing it if they know this?
I don't know. Maybe because they make a hell of a lot more money doing this kind of shit, and they don't have to.
Yeah, if they were president for even like one term, they'd make even more money afterwards.
You think so?
Probably.
Boy, I don't know. They might be hated.
Well, that's how you get idiocracy. So I mean,
what I'm saying is
they
it
changed the
happened,
world.
And you're sitting there going, maybe this could happen.
The movie that came true.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah, it's even
Macho Camacho.
it's far worse because you got Donald Trump.
I mean, Dwayne keeps on like hinting at running, so I think it's gonna
You
happen.
think it's going to happen?
Yeah, I do.
Where do you think he comes down?
Comes down in
As
terms of
president?
policy?
No, like in policy. Where I mean, like
Horrible.
Yeah.
awful.
Left.
Liberal,
Way
yeah.
left.
Really?
Yeah.
I say
After
liberal,
all
I
that
shouldn't use
damn hard work, you think so?
Yep. He's got too much money to.
Well, you're not wrong about
He's
too much
surrounded
damn
by
money.
he's surrounded by all the worst people and doesn't know enough, and so
I don't know,
his
man.
good intentions would lead him to listening to all the nice people around him. and they'd have bad ideas.
He'd be way too
Have you guys ever-
philanthropic.
Have you ever listened to Kevin Hart?
Yeah.
Kevin Hart's all about working his ass off. How can he not be that guy that rubs off on The Rock? Bad choice of terms. Which maybe, I don't know, bro crush and all that. At any rate, how can you not rub off on The Rock and sit there and go, hey man, people need to work their ass off to obtain some success?
But because there's no talk about our principles in mainstream culture, so there's no connection between hard work and the conclusions of hard work.
But you gotta see, like, I mean, you've seen that Netflix. Kevin Hart works his ass off.
So is The Rock, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those guys are, those guys are always working, and it starts early in the morning and it ends late at night.
Never ends.
They
never end. They work their ass off 24/7.
Damn right they do.
365.
That's how do
because
you,
they have the amount of money that is to the point where they understand. Okay, well, I would give. Let's say you had $10 million in the bank. You'd be much more philanthropic that way if you had $10 million.
philanthropic.
Yes, but that's the way that
But
Hollywood
like,
side of
you
things.
think like forced charity is
Yeah,
how
absolutely.
that translates for
Yeah,
those guys.
absolutely, yeah.
Well, no, different. I see your point. Not excited about it.
You had to make your own way here in your own plane, didn't you? Right, but seriously, most films are awful, lazy, remakes, sequels. I've heard a rumour that there might be a sequel to Sophie's Choice. I mean, that'd just be Meryl Streep going, well, it's got to be this one then. All the best actors have jumped to Netflix and HBO, you know. And the actors who just do Hollywood movies now do fantasy adventure nonsense. They wear masks and capes and really tight costumes. Their job isn't acting anymore. It's going to the gym twice a day and taking steroids, really. Have we got an award for most ripped junkie? No. No point. We know he'd win that.
I gotta stop here. He's obviously referencing all the superhero movies, like the Marvels, the DCs,
Sure.
things like that, where, you know, I find extreme value in those. No? Yeah?
I don't know about value, but I enjoy them as much as anything.
Well, that's a value, enjoyment. And
Yeah, enjoyment's a
laughing
value,
and-
right? But, like, I mean, one of my least favorite Marvel superheroes is Captain America. Jimmy just said, what?
Captain Puerto Rico.
Yeah, but there are some great one-liners from Cap, especially like when he is, I think it was the Winter Soldier, where it's like we're holding a gun to people's head and telling them it's freedom or something like that. I thought that was a pretty profound statement from a guy who, you know, in the gym, he's a junkie and taking steroids, right? But what I digress into the fact that I think the fact that you can sit there as Ricky Gervais and kind of criticize the Marvel type universe that you know, Jon Favreau kind of stood up from the very beginning, and that was acquired by Disney, and, you know, has done some really, I mean, it's hard to dispute billion-dollar episodes of each in everything that they lay their hands on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it is masterful, the storytelling. What do you got here? What is this, Brett? Brett's just handed me his phone when you realize Captain America is actually Captain Puerto Rico because of the star. He's got the single star and the color, like the red and the white stripes that hang this way. Captain Puerto Rico. That's hysterical.
It's exactly right. I mean, it is the flag.
No, I see that.
That was one of the things I was sitting there like, all right, man, you know.
Man, I mean, again, it's not all serious. We don't know how serious it is. Ricky Gervais could just be doing good comedy and could take none of this seriously. I think that there's the part of truth in everything kind of aspect, which means, and that's what makes it funny. Mm-hmm. And the part of truth there is there are a bunch of like shit movies where it's just like some superhero who sucks and there's no like good plot behind it.
Yeah, it's called DC.
So.
Yeah. The audience is good, yeah.
Except for Wonder Woman.
Bang.
That was great.
Yeah. Hey, how excited are you about 1984?
Yeah.
Oh, man, it looks awesome, doesn't it?
1984 what?
Wonder Woman.
The movie,
This guy.
like the book. It's my favorite book. I love that book.
It's a good book, too.
1984, the book is fantastic.
The movie sucks.
1984 Wonder Woman looks unbelievable.
Why is it called 1984?
It's just with the year that it comes out.
Yeah.
It's the time frame where they're coming through history, and Wonder Woman is in 1984, and man, it looks awesome.
I was excited for a second. I don't care anymore.
You're not a Gal Gadot fan?
I don't care much about the superhero movies.
All right, fine, Ricky.
Martin Scorsese, the greatest living director, made the news for his controversial comments about the Marvel franchise. He said they're not real cinema and they remind him of theme parks. I agree. Although I don't know what he's doing hanging around theme parks. He's not big enough to go on the rides, is he? It's tiny. Right. The Irishman was amazing. It was amazing.
All right, wait, stop.
Haven't
Did you
seen
see
it.
The Irishman?
No.
Brett, you saw The Irishman. What,
Here's why I didn't see The Irishman. I heard people commentate on the fact that Al Pacino and De Niro just like these old farts, and
They
that
are getting old, man.
When they're like acting, you can just tell they're old. And I was like,
It's such
getting lazy?
bullshit. It's such bullshit.
yeah?
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
He comes out and stomps some guy at a shop, and it's like Robert De Niro's like what 65 years old, and
Yeah.
he's beating the shit out of this guy on the street, like kicking him down on the ground. It's like
What self-respecting man lets that happen?
Raging Bull, Robert De Niro. Okay, cool, but Robert De Niro, 65, not buying it.
Not happening.
Not
no.
happening.
Did you guys see Robert De Niro and The Irishman yet?
I didn't want to see it.
Don't. Mm-mm. It's not worth it.
He's
It's not worth the
76.
4 hours.
4 hours?
It's like 3.5 hours.
Oh,
It's
is that the one where he's
ungodly
walking around in those, Lady Gaga platform shoes?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you see that?
I did see that. Oh, is that not his daily attire? I just assumed it was daily attire.
It's messed up.
Oh man, here we go.
It was. It was great. Long, but amazing. It wasn't the only epic movie. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, nearly 3 hours long. Leonardo DiCaprio attended the premiere, and by the end, his date was too old for him. So,
Did you guys see that?
What?
Once Upon a Time in
Oh.
Hollywood?
No, I haven't seen that.
I saw it. I didn't know it was a Tarantino film until the very end. You know how Tarantino goes a little over the top.
Was it good?
I liked it, man. It was one of those, like, DiCaprio, despite being a giant D-bag, that guy is a great actor. Brad Pitt,
Actor or director?
actor. Right? He didn't direct. Did he direct this?
I don't know. I would assume.
I can tell you right now, DiCaprio is a great actor. Brad Pitt, he's just that cool guy that you want to, like, kind of hang around, right? He doesn't play characters. He plays a part in a movie as Brad Pitt, and he's Brad Pitt in every movie. Yeah,
He's like a personified Han Solo.
yeah.
He just is who he is.
Yeah, it's
He's
exactly who he is, man. He's just a cool guy that kind of comes on set, raises damn lines, and acts it out in typical Brad Pitt fashion, and that's what it is. But I'll tell you right now, like, it's definitely worth 3 hours. It's an interesting take. The amount of, like, time period, like, genre that they bring into it, you're just sitting there like, oh, it's kind of cool. Like, and it makes you kind of remember the 80s, if that's when you grew up, or maybe the late 70s and all that kind of stuff, like, where things were a lot slower, a lot simpler, and things like that. It was pretty neat until the end when it gets all Tarantino.
even Prince Andrew's like, come on, Leo, mate, you know. You're nearly 50, son. The world got to see James Corden as a fat pussy. He was also in the movie Cats, but no one saw that. And the reviews, oh, shocking. I saw one that said, this is the worst thing to happen to cats since dogs, right? But Dame Judi Dench defended the film, saying it was the role she was born to play, because she... I can't do this next joke. Because she loves nothing better than plonking herself down on the carpet, lifting her leg, and licking her... Furball. She's old school.
I don't think it needs
It's
any
the last
comment.
time. Who cares? Oh. Apple roared into the TV game with a morning show. A superb drama, yeah. A superb drama about the importance of dignity and doing the right thing, made by a company that runs sweatshops in China. So, well, you say you're woke, but the companies you work for, I mean, unbelievable. Apple, Amazon, Disney. If ISIS started a streaming service, you'd call your agent, wouldn't you? So, if you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg.
So
There's a lot there.
it stopped being very jokey like halfway through there, and he just continued.
Tim Cook's face was like, oh, deer in headlights, holy hell. What's going to happen to me right now? That guy got harpooned, man. I mean, absolutely harpooned. Like, the fact that Apple starts at, the morning show or whatever the hell.
I don't even know what they're talking
Jennifer
about.
Aniston's on it, and what's her face is on it, and they come up for the first word.
Like a news morning show?
Yeah, it's kind of like it's like I don't know, maybe like a CNN or an MSNBC morning show or something like that. Where
Really?
Yeah.
I thought they were joking.
Nope, not at all. And the fact that they're making all these pieces for Apple in sweatshops. That guy goes just out, balls out, and just calls them to the carpet and is like, "Oh, you want to talk about being ethical? You guys make all of your shit in sweatshops, for God's sakes." I thought that was great. And the fact that he's like, "Hey, if you win an award, just get up here, accept your damn award.
Get off your high horse.
Nobody in America wants to hear your bullshit." How many times have we heard bullshit?
Bullshit.
Is that Saving Sarah Marshall?
Bullshit.
Oh, it's that dude who's we don't hear about him anymore. What's his name? The actor who plays that guy. The British dude.
God almighty.
We all know who we're talking about.
What is that guy's name, man?
He's pretty cool.
He was on Joe
Somebody in
Rogan.
podcast land is going crazy right now.
I'll tell you right now. He has been on some actual real no kidding news networks. Russell
Brand.
There
we go.
Russell Brand. That guy is...
He's brilliant.
He's smart as a whip, dude. I mean, you want to talk about like genius level. I'm not saying we agree on everything.
Right. You don't have to agree on everything, but
what
he
I'm
is
telling you right
brilliant.
now, that guy is brilliant,
Yep.
man.
Well, I
Absolutely.
mean, most of the credit he gets is the same kind of credit that Chappelle got from like just leaving everything and saying, "Hey, this is not worth it." Is because if he had just continued to go not that he's not known anymore,
Sure.
but if he continued just to go the way he was supposed to go, right, he'd still be starring in like those like
Saving
blockbuster,
Silverman or
yeah,
whatever.
the blockbuster movies and so forth,
Which was funny.
But instead, he's kind of been made up for going like a little crazy and on the wild side,
Well,
and he definitely has. Like,
Well,
he's
he's
got,
a former junkie and really had kind of a bit of a spell there, right? Like,
He'll probably kill himself in like 5 years.
but it's
I
not.
say kill himself.
It's not
Right.
respected like by the mainstream. The same kind of thing that like you've got the Charlie Sheen kind of went through that period of just like, hey, I'm going to start questioning everything and this is cool. He's just, and you don't really hear from him anymore.
Yeah.
But I like the thinking part because his mind is just ready to embrace anything. He's like, what? We could have like space aliens that look like slugs on Mars. Let's talk about that.
Have you seen him on with Mika Brzezinski? Have you seen that bit? Oh, brutal. I mean, just rips her apart in a great way. He's so respecting. And he's just like, hey, listen, I'm sitting right here. Why are you talking about me? This is rude. And he just...
I think I have, but I don't know who Mika is.
Mika Brzezinski?
She's
the
that
one that's
blonde
sleeping
on
with, like,
MSNBC.
Yeah.
blonde, like white hair. Is it blonde? Man, maybe, whatever. Anyway, she's the guy that's... She's the guy. She's the lady who's sleeping with Joe Scarborough.
Are they together?
Oh, boy. They've been...
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they don't admit it, but yeah, it's kind of like this thing that everybody in network knows that they've been together for a while. I guess that they don't talk about it, but yeah, she's such a lightweight in terms of IQ and understanding. And
Well, you know why she's there.
because she reads lines.
No, her dad was
She's foreign policy advisor to Ronald Reagan.
Yeah,
and
what's her dad's name?
Jimmy Carter. Oh, jeez.
Whatever her dad's name is.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, something Brzezinski.
Mr. Brzezinski. Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, when he's tearing these guys apart at Apple in front of everybody, and he's then just saying, "Hey, just come get your damn award. Get the hell out of here. You're in no place.
Say thank you and move along.
You're in no place whatsoever to tell anybody how to live their life and all that kind of crap." Boy, God, thank you so much for saying that. That is how long have people been talking about this? How long have people been saying, like, we don't need to hear from you for your political views. Stand up there like the damn jester you are, entertain us, take your silly self-gratifying award, and get the hell out of here.
Well, I mean, so I feel like we might be slightly hypocritical because we do appreciate when people take the right stance, right? Like Vince Vaughn, we've paraded him around on this podcast multiple times.
Yeah, but that's not what's going on.
Yeah, but
They're not awarding Vince Vaughn.
But they do sometimes. Like, he's a well-known actor. Like, you say that name in pop culture, people recognize who he is. Like, Wedding Crashers is one of those movies that everybody's supposed to know how to quote. Sure. I don't know, but it's an awesome movie. And I don't mind them having a political opinion. They just happen to have the wrong political opinion, so I like somebody making fun of them.
Well,
I worry that people don't care. Like, the joke kind of cuts both ways. It's funny to hear because nobody else says it in that realm. In our realm, people say it all the time, but we don't matter because we're, the people. But in that realm, nobody says it. But it's also the same thing as like the first time, I've told you this before, the first time I watched The Matrix, I was like, damn, everybody's going to wake up tomorrow. They're going to see The Matrix and they're going to be like, man, it's all been a lie. And the world's going to change. It doesn't happen. And I feel like people have like these movies, like The Matrix, The Bravehearts of the world. What's another like good, like liberty motivational movie?
Those are two of my favorites.
The Patriot. Patriot's pretty good.
Yeah. After Braveheart, the Patriot looked like it was just kind of trying to like climb on board,
maybe, and
kind of do the same thing in less dramatic fashion. I didn't appreciate
Armageddon.
You and your rom-coms.
And I love Armageddon, actually.
I know you do.
It is just an exciting movie. I like the whole part of it, the intro.
It was fun. Trust me.
Courage and sacrifice.
Was that Michael Bay?
Love.
Or Michael Bay?
Probably, because it's got a lot of the explosions and stuff.
Brett was asking me about Six Underground the other day. Have you seen that pile of garbage yet?
Yeah. With Ryan
Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, boy. It will never, ever receive a Golden That's for damn sure. It's like a Netflix special, but it's Michael Bay. Like Michael Bay meets Transformers meets Quentin Tarantino.
Didn't Michael Bay do the Transformers?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's kind of PG-ish. There's no real death and carnage. Six Underground.
I was gonna say that's definitely some.
Boy, don't watch that one with your kids, man. Because I'll tell you right now,
he liked it.
You liked it? Yeah, it was all right. It was fast paced. It was crazy. There's a lot of cutscenes, flashes, glares, lens kind of stuff, and you're like, "Oh boy, this is Michael Bay." And then Michael Bay starts like slaughtering people. Like
he's the actor in it?
No.
Okay.
He's the director, and there are just,
you phrase it in a weird way, dude. So I'm just making sure.
There are cars flying and people flying out of cars and people in cars. Just man, it's gritty a little bit.
Maybe it's part of just the creative process. Like we've done some episodes that weren't as good as the other episodes. I don't know which ones. but anyways, my point was that people seem to have all these movies that they could, like, the popular culture, like the mainstream people watch these movies. It's like the most liked movie in the world is Shawshank Redemption. You'd think that might wake people up to the problem of the injustice of how a prison works.
Yeah.
No.
Nope.
So they take it in, and this is like their food. They get like this alternative food on a screen, and then their souls are kind of like, it's like bread, satiated in like this not very healthy way, and then they could go live out their lives in these unprincipled ways because they've gotten this alternative, this fix over here.
Yep.
They went to the Hollywood hooker. New term.
I don't know what that reference is.
It's just my term. It's my reference.
I dig it. It's a good one.
Here we go.
Win, right? Come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and so.
And
are they pausing it?
And off. They muted him. It says off.
It's
Got it.
already 3 hours long.
Tom Hanks' face right now. He's doing this.
Like he wants to laugh?
Everybody's looking at Tom Hanks like, oh boy.
Is he stopping himself for laughing?
Tom Hanks.
Or is he uncomfortable?
He's embarrassed.
He's embarrassed.
He's like,
I think he's probably made one too many political speeches from the Golden Globes platform, and
Has Tom Hanks been involved in politics? Like said political?
he just says bullshit.
I would imagine he's said like no political statements ever.
Listen, man, Tom Hanks is a great actor. Great, fun.
What's your favorite Tom Hanks movie?
Forrest Gump.
Really?
It's my favorite movie of all time.
What?
Really?
Holy
Fucking love
bullshit!
Forrest-
Are
Nope.
you fucking kidding me?
Favorite movie of all time.
Get the out of here.
I can't.
Forrest Gump's your
I
favorite.
love that
Janae.
movie. Yeah. I love
What's your favorite Tom Hanks?
Man, I'll tell you right now. I loved Big.
it. That's a great movie.
Loved Big.
I never seen it.
What? Yeah, of course you have. Thank you for being here. What's your favorite Tom Hanks movie?
It's the one I'm trying to remember the name of it, but it's the one
Forrest
where
Gump.
he's a guy from this made up country, like near Kazakhstan or something, and he's going into New York for some kind of business. He's going to fly out, but his country like erupts into war and they cancel his passport, and he gets stuck in the airport for like months on end. It's based on a true story.
I remember that.
Because he's in no man's
Never
land.
saw
I
it,
forget
but
what it's called.
I remember it.
But it's a
funny
great
is it that
movie.
your favorite Tom Hanks movie is one nobody knows.
So obscure.
I know which one you're talking about.
I have
It was
no
in-
idea.
it was-
I have
it was
no
like a
idea
Hollywood
what you're
movie.
talking about.
So
That's funny.
he just
man.
gets
I also like
stuck
the
in
one
an
where
airport.
he's like stuck on an island. What's that
You
one
like
called?
that one?
The Castaway.
Castaway?
I love the
That was
Castaway.
sad as shit.
Well,
Good movie.
son.
What's your favorite Tom Hanks movie?
It's either Castaway or Forrest Gump.
How about Toy Story? Toy Story is great.
Which one is he in Toy Story? Is he the cowboy?
He's Woody.
He's Woody. He's the main guy.
Woody's cool, but that's different.
Woody's
it's an
Roundup.
anime.
Yeah. Maybe one of his
Castaway.
Castaway?
That's his.
Wilson?
He doesn't have that many political quotes, but he's got one here. He says, "And I'm not
Saving
apolitical.
Private Ryan.
I'm very
Oh,
specific
yeah.
in my politics, but a lot of the time it's nobody's business unless you're over at my house having dinner." So that's the way he navigates having political opinions. He's like, I have them, I'm just not going to tell anybody about them.
Yeah, Saving
kinda lame.
Private Ryan was in.
Fantastic movie.
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
But yeah, you don't want to kill yourself afterwards. But
That one is rough. I mean, like after you watch just the beach scene, you're just like, oh god. I'll tell you what else gets me is when they assault the machine gun nest and the one young guy gets it. Man, boy, damn, you just sit there. Oh.
yeah.
It took the.
If you want to feel depressed, watch Saving Private Ryan.
It took the wind out of my sails before I was a vet. Boy, I'll tell you right now, between that and all the other, like I'll tell you where they did a really good job is Black Hawk Down. I can't watch that. I can't do it. I started trying to watch that stuff. I think Jackson is probably about, I don't know, a year old or so. And he got up in the middle of the night. It was Veterans Day, and they're playing like all these veterans movies. Hey, network, if you're listening out there, veterans don't need to see veterans movies on Veterans Day. This is the last thing we need. Play all this shiny bullshit, rainbow, glittery nonsense that you possibly can on those days, so we don't have to think about the god awfulness of war.
So the movie is called The Terminal.
That's
That was
it.
good. He's also in The Green Mile, which is a really good movie.
Damn good movie too.
He's in
I
Catch.
thought The Green Mile was a piece of shit.
Really?
you're
Oh, I
crazy.
love that movie.
Oh, John, toffee like the candy, but whatever.
It's coffee.
Is it coffee like the drink?
You racist.
Bridge of Spies is a recent one, and that was amazing.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, that is a wonderful movie. Like
Huh.
to the end. Like movies always have kind of have this like quick roundup at the end.
What about Charlie Wilson's Ward? You guys ever see that?
Charlie Wilson. Yeah, I did. It was okay.
I never saw it. Huh. Green Mile was interesting.
He was in Philadelphia, which
fun.
is a really political movie.
I never saw Philadelphia.
It's not bad.
Is it good, or is it just not bad?
It's not bad.
That's depressing too, though.
No, it's depressing. It's interesting to see what
the AIDS patient one, right?
yeah.
Where
He's
Is
a
it
lawyer.
also a courtroom drama?
Yeah, he's a lawyer. He gets fired from his firm supposedly because
Because he's gay and has AIDS?
and has AIDS. Yeah.
Gay as AIDS.
Gades.
Boy.
Sorry.
And we lost everybody. Thanks, Brett.
Oh boy.
Glad I could be here.
Those
Here we
are the main movies, and he's in that new one where he plays what's his name, the guy with the red sweater,
Oh,
Mr.
Tom Hanks,
Rogers.
Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers.
I will watch that.
Yeah. Did you guys ever see the Mr. Rogers biography? I don't even remember what it was called. It was fantastic. It was. I'll tell you right now. I didn't realize,
What a good guy he was.
minus the fact that he lobbied Congress to steal people's money to put on public TV.
You know what's really bad about that is that speech where he lobbies them. As much as I hate the idea, it's actually a good speech.
He's a great,
like
yeah.
he just oozes out this like sense of well-being and
Yeah.
love, even when he's asking people to steal money for him.
Which goes to show you
It's dangerous.
how bad ideas can be, right? Great idea, really, really, really terrible, awful implementation.
Well, you have to do the translation. I mean, I have sisters who I love dearly, and they argue all the time for people to come with guns and force you to do all sorts of things and take your guns. And I love them dearly. They're wonderful people. They would save anybody they saw suffering. They would help anybody they could. They're wonderful people who wouldn't hurt anybody. And yet they argue all the time for people to come to their brother's like face and be like, don't forget to give us
Money for PBS.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's really
that's tough, man.
And I think that's a hard thing for people to hold both those truths at the same time. Like, he's a really good person, but he's also advocating the same things Hitler advocated for.
Weird.
It's like Bob Ross.
Or should I say weird?
Bob Ross also had bad political
Wow,
ideas.
I mean,
it's
he's on
PBS.
PBS.
Oh, he was.
Great show.
he's
Favorite
so
artist
cool,
of all
though.
time.
Oh, man.
Super likable
Bob
guy.
Ross. Yeah, damn right.
Solve the world with his paintings.
So it's another thing. Do follow people's actions, not their words. That's the.
Do you know how
wrap
big
up.
a star Bob Ross would have been had he just done like time lapse and talked over his own videos on YouTube?
He'd probably be huge. Do you know how many paintings Bob Ross has?
That guy could whip out a painting in 5 minutes.
He painted every painting you saw on PBS.
Yeah.
Got painted 4 times.
Wow.
There is a archive of Bob Ross.
Who owns
Archive.
Archive of Bob Ross? PBS or
No,
his family?
It's affiliated family members and
We can do all the
people
Bob
of
Ross shit we want, huh?
It's ridiculous. It's just sitting.
So
in a warehouse.
every painting he did on
at
PBS,
at least 3 paintings.
3 paintings for each one.
He painted it before. He painted it after, or painted it before, during, and after
Wow.
Why after?
to make it perfect.
He's an artist.
And if you really go research some of this is super side tangent, but Bob Ross has some paintings out there that are ridiculous, and his son's probably a better painter than he is.
Really?
Yeah, and
Well, is he even the best painter? Like, he knew how to paint fast, but I'm not sure he was
I
necessarily
won't say
the
he's
best
the
painter.
best, but like for a guy who just painted landscape paintings, he's fantastic.
I
Like,
mean-
unreal how fast.
Quick.
Yeah, quick, but like he painted stuff that would take most people 6 days, and he'd paint them in an hour and a half or less,
Yeah. And
probably half an hour.
great mood. No, like, I don't think there was a ton of editing done.
Oh.
I mean,
No, there wasn't. There was
like-
no edit. It was literally a straight-on shot.
it was a one take kind of deal.
Beat his paintbrush and throw it off to the side, and
What's funny is, like, I remember Grandpa at the same time, man. Grandpa, like, me and Brett's and mine, whatever. Our grandfather, that guy could paint his ass off. Thanks for the English lesson. I always thought of Grandpa when Bob Ross was painting. Like, I was like, Grandpa's down there in his basement doing the same shit, right? Maybe sparking a doob. Who knows? I don't know.
Do you not know?
I don't know.
That's interesting.
I know in Michigan he had these things he called spider plants, and they looked a lot like pot. He's a nice, amazing guy, and I'll tell you what. Yeah, begs a question. That's for sure. I'm not quite convinced in my mind that he.
Oh, that actually, like, while I was like just hanging around and so forth, and didn't want to talk to people anymore. You guys need to hear about this. Talking about weed or cannabis, as we call it. Weed is still okay, right?
That's fun.
It's better than marijuana.
Yeah. It's definitely
But
not.
there's a a city in Michigan who wants to buy this thing called the. Come on, I have it right here. No. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it.
You can do it.
Album.
Is it?
It's called the Nasal Ranger. It is like those things you use to like hear from far away, except you put it up to your nose and you can smell from far away with it. And it's to catch people who are growing too much cannabis.
What?
Yeah.
Wait.
It costs $3,400.
You can smell
Picture.
the Nasal Ranger. You can smell from miles away. Is that what you're telling me? Oh, what the hell kind
That's
of bullshit?
Tech ever.
It looks ridiculous for those who, I don't know if you can see on YouTube there, but for those who can't see, it's you hold it up to your nose. It's got like a clean air tank inside, and it mixes clean air with your surrounding air, and from that it can tell how far the surrounding air came from or something weird like that. And they want to use it because apparently people, I say apparently, emphasis on the apparently, people are complaining that there's just too much smell of cannabis all over and they just can't take it anymore, and somebody needs to find these people who are growing more than 10 plants.
Tell you what, here in North Georgia, you get chicken places that you can smell from miles away when they clean them out, right?
Pro tip to YouTube: if you see somebody out there, fart in their general direction. How about that?
with a Nasal Ranger. Is that what it's called?
Nasal Ranger.
What
It costs $3,400.
I'll tell you now, that guy that created that thing, what a bastard. Like, take your genius and do something a little more profound with it. Should we get back into Ricky?
Sure.
Right, let's do the first award. The first award. The first award is for Best Actor in a Television Series, Musical or Comedy. To present the award are a couple of actors.
Oh. I missed it. Anyway, that's the end. That's the end of his opening monologue. I watched this at the airport. It was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. It followed on Twitter, where Ricky tweeted, "How the fuck can teasing huge corporations and the richest, most privileged people in the world be considered right-wing?" Hashtag Golden Globes.
Well, as long as you're not agreeing with people, that's what it is.
Our buddy at Over Being Libertarian, he's actually got one of the biggest tweets out there in response to this. And it's,
Really?
Yeah, it's actually because he says, quote, "You attacked their religion."
That's good.
I thought it was actually pretty
How many likes on that
it's
response?
476.
That's not bad.
Nope, not bad at all.
I mean, but you have to come to that conclusion if you attack their religion, but also if you're only allowed to pick between one or two religions. Like if you have to be one or the other, you can't be anything else. People are just gonna ping pong between the two.
Yeah.
I found his, as I said, the jokes might make it easy for people to downplay, even though some people are kind of upset, and they have switched apparently to, they made a press release already, like way early in the year. The guy who the head of whatever the company is it NBC came out. We just couldn't wait. We're so excited to say that the same people who have done it like 4 times in a row already are going to do it again. Amy Poehler and Tina Fey. Mm-hmm. His Twitter is much more serious. Like it's laced with like a joke tweet, a serious tweet, a joke tweet, a serious tweet, a tweet to tell them all to like go pound sand, a serious tweet.
I love
Balanced.
Yeah, it is. My favorite one there is where he says, "I've noticed a couple of tweets criticizing me for accepting new followers who are the opposite of me: Christian, conservative, pro-life, pro-gun, reactionaries. Of course, I accept them. To err is human. To forgive, divine. It's what Jesus would do. Dog bless all my followers." He's got a picture of his dog, and I didn't know this, but he's like this huge animal rights activist at the same time.
I didn't know that.
And atheist.
I didn't know that. I could have guessed that one.
Yeah.
But he shares like all these. He shares these fundraisers for. Not PETA, some PDSA, and they help like neuter cats across America or something. Just all this kind of dog and cat stuff. Like a quarter of his tweets are
Oh yeah.
animal things.
Now I will. The caveat is, listen, I'm not endorsing everything Ricky. I'm not. But wow, like this bit was well deserved, extremely needed. It obviously knocked it out of the park, or else people wouldn't be talking about it. And
It's like Chappelle's last stand-up.
damn right, Chappelle, Burr, Rogan. I mean, these heavyweights out there that are absolutely crushing it, that are attacking these people's religion, right? that we can do anything. We can do any of the fucking shit we want to do, and you can't attack us. That shit's over, man. Thank God for people that will actually talk about this kind of stuff and crush them with comedy. I think that's the best part. It's not that it's not that we're all serious and we're taking your ridiculousness is just so surface level.
Yeah.
It's so easy to take apart. The fact that these guys do it as masters of comedy, that is the best piece about. I found this. I can't tell you. I probably watched this about 4 or 5 times in one day, just so I could go back and kind of pick up on it, realize it, kind of digest it a bit, and I laughed my ass off every single time when I heard Ricky lay into these guys.
He's hilarious.
What was the single biggest takedown that you took away from it?
I know that there. I'm kind of I'm optimistic about most things, but I'm kind of cynical about that. I think it's just going to kind of fade into obscurity and not matter that much, unfortunately. But I appreciate the laugh right now. There are 14 million people who follow him now.
Yeah,
up 1 million since he did this.
Wow. Tells you what the truth will get you.
So,
what about you, Brett? Any
maybe some hope.
Any big takeaways? Was there a favorite takedown?
I won't say favorite. I can appreciate all of his comedy. The guy's he's genius level comedy. I won't say there's a takeaway because I knew he was that guy beforehand. So.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now. My favorite one, Apple. I love that he laid into Tim Cook. I love that he just took him down, said, "Hey, listen, jackass, you can launch all the feel good bullshit that you want to. You're making Apple products slave labor. So don't sit here and try to even think about lecturing us on being ethical with your Apple TV programs like the morning show with Jennifer Aniston and Amy Poehler or whoever the hell is hosting. I haven't seen it, but that one for me, it felt good, man. Apple's been a bastard for a while, like real bastard. And for those guys to sit there and say, or for Ricky to sit there and say, "Hey, come on." For you guys to lecture us, you guys don't have a clue. You don't even have a starting spot. If you're going to sit there and try to lecture us after having sweatshops in China on ethical behavior, get out of here. What are you talking about? I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I'm glad you guys did this with me.
It's fun. I am tired now, honestly.
I think it's all hitting. I think the meat,
I would imagine people could tell the second half I was just tired.
The meat, the alcohol. It's like Christmas dinner happened right in between all of this, right?
I didn't expect it. You didn't tell me there was like people coming over and so forth. You're like, "Hey, come stay for dinner."
Yeah, it's Meredith's birthday. I love my wife. Big party. Lots of meat. Great fixings.
Lots of meat.
Great fixings. You're all welcome.
Sorry.
What was your favorite dish tonight?
Ribs.
So I've had your ribs before. They are my favorite, but as something new, those potatoes with the cornflakes on top.
They were fantastic.
Cornflakes, people. That sounds weird, but it was
That was Meredith's
extremely
creation.
good.
You know, cornflakes were developed so to counteract basically male libido.
What? Explain. All right, so
I can't explain.
It's conspiracy time on the
all right,
rebellious.
let's go. This is the what did I call it earlier? The something shit episode anyway. Whatever.
I don't know why you're shitting on our show here.
Yeah,
Because it's is this 155? This is 155. Another milestone. Write that dish. Yeah,
How is 155 a milestone? Shane's just inventing stuff now.
that's right. That's what it
One random number that can't even be divisible by 2 correctly without
That's what a
using.
that's what a salesman does.
155, folks.
155.
And I don't know who. This is just.
All right, so
This is the way I
tell us
gather
about the
information.
corn. We can call it the cornflake conspiracy at the end of the show. Go ahead, tell me about the cornflake
The
conspiracy.
guy who developed cornflakes was doing it in order to counteract male libido.
All right, so male libido is way too high.
Yeah.
Yes, we got a problem.
Yep.
Guys just want to get out there and get after it too much.
Yep.
Cornflakes.
Yep.
So I'm reading cornflakes were part of an anti-masturbation crusade. In the 18th and 19th centuries, the Western world worked itself up into a mass hissy fit over the idea of people touching themselves. Judeo-Christian tradition had already been damning masturbation as a misuse of sexuality for years, but Victorian era prudishness and the Great Awakening of other religion reviles in America created a perfect storm for people to really get obsessed with it.
Perfect.
Books like this anonymously authored, blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to find the part about cornflakes. So Kellogg's Cures. In the young United States, one of the loudest anti voices with the Michigan physician named John Harvey Kellogg. The good doctor was a bit uncomfortable about sex, thinking it detrimental to physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. He personally abstained from it and never consummated his marriage. And does he know that life doesn't continue if you do that? And may have actually spent his honeymoon working on one of his anti-sex books. He and his wife kept separate bedrooms and adopted all of their children.
Lucky girl. Sure, she wasn't stepping out.
Glad he didn't reproduce.
Kellogg's solution to all this suffering was a healthy diet. He thought that meat and certain flavorful and seasoned foods increase sexual drive, so he made the plainest food he could. That the plainer the food, especially cereals and nuts, can curb it. While working at the superintendent of Michigan's Battle Creek Sanatorium, he hit upon a few different healthy eating ideas. 2 became breakfast staples. 1 thankfully didn't. It's all in the diet. So yeah, I thought there was going to be something interesting. He just thought food would taste, makes you want to taste other things.
Have you guys heard Joe Rogan's bit about that? Joe Rogan's bit about like it's like your dick's on, like in the middle of your back. It's like right there at hand.
Dead arm. Roll over.
Here's a fun quote by Lily Tomlin. We have reason to believe that man's first walked upright to free his hands from masturbation.
If you think anybody could actually hear what you said there, I certainly couldn't.
That's good. It's probably better that way.
Yeah, maybe it is,
Okay.
but not also wrong either. Oh man, if you want to know what I said, just look up Lily Tomlin's quote on masturbation. Anyway, we are sitting at another 54 minutes. I think that probably takes us to the end of the show, is what I was calling it. Upstairs.
I refuse to call it a shit show. I do apologize for everybody for this show, but
it was fun,
I will not
though.
demean our podcast.
This needed to happen. It was a good it was fun. It was definitely cathartic. Brett, having you in here, good times, man. And now that we're in better proximity, I hope to do a lot more of it. Thanks. Before we get out of here and sign off for the night, what do you got? Anything else?
Nothing much besides we would certainly like you guys to go to YouTube, maybe subscribe. We do this all in video now. You can kind of see what you couldn't see before, the weird faces that Shane and I like make to each other when the other one goes off of the plan and leaves the reservation. It's usually Shane. So that's just search The Rebellion on YouTube. You will find our YouTube podcast there. We would also like some reviews. Brett has written a review. Why haven't you?
Have you written a review?
Yeah, we read it way early on. It was really nice. Yeah. It said how awesome it was.
I apologize for everybody out there that we have read reviews that I'm like, well, all right, maybe it was a while ago.
Are we backed up?
Are we backed up on what?
On reviews to read.
No, I haven't seen any more.
Okay.
The last time I checked, we still had 103 reviews.
Go write some reviews.
Yeah, you go write some reviews now that you're literate. And
you can do that on Apple Podcasts and iTunes specifically. Well, iTunes doesn't exist anymore, so you can't. And then you can send us stuff at info@rebellionpod.com. Guest ideas, show ideas, things you want us to answer. We were supposed to do a show where we answered your questions you gave us like right around the first of the year, but we'll do that next week. Maybe.
Yeah. If you found value in the show, go out to patreon.com/rebellionpod. You can support the podcast there.
You get some cool stickers.
Oh, I'll tell you right now. These stickers, these are awesome stickers, man. Really, really cool. Both.
That's my favorite. That's awesome.
That one?
Yeah, that's very cool.
Nobody's playing favorites here, but I'll tell you. I'll tell you right now.
That one was Shane's idea.
The Venn diagram and the Peace, Liberty, and Free Markets.
I like that too, though.
Diagram, man. It is absolutely fantastic. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to look at real quick how many subscribers we have
on YouTube. I think it's like 93.
We have 90 subscribers on YouTube. That's
90.
That's jumped. Thank you guys. This audience, Brett. Thanks for listening while you're at work, spreading the message.
Always.
But thank you guys for spreading this, man. I'll tell you, I think the addition of a little bit of video is helped us out quite a bit. Yeah, go out there, find F Banks Wise. You can find Brett at Hitman Hazel. That guy is a no-show on Twitter. So if you're tweeting at him, he's even harder to reach than I am on Twitter these days. And but you can find me at Shanty Hazel. This has been your place for peace, liberty, free markets, some laughs, a little bit of adult humor on this show. We'll clean it up next time. But it's been a lot of fun. Thanks for letting me do this one.
They love you. They need you.
Peace.
Don't hurt people and don't take their stuff.